beautiful national anthem here in San Francisco as we get set and underway between these two teams. They were actually supposed to meet one another a few weeks ago, but that game didn't happen in Las Vegas due to weather issues in the Henderson area. There were thunderstorms, and the city of Henderson didn't let that happen either. And so SF City flew out to Las Vegas to meet the Mobsters, and unfortunately that game was postponed. They'll both meet one another later in Las Vegas in the summer. Of course, the weather heats up then, so that'll definitely be a spicy matchup indeed. Las Vegas, they're going to be going from left to right on your screen. SF City from right to left. We will give you the starting 11 for Las Vegas. In goal, Alex Cluis. They line up in a 4-4-2 formation. Matthew DeKirosh is the right back. Robert Hines and Eric Bojaro, the two center backs. And Kobe Hunt at left back. Esteban Bruman at right-sided midfielder. Julian Portugal and Milan Popovic. You'll see both of them a lot today. They love to get on the ball. They make things happen. And Jackson Collins at left side midfield. Josh Guzman, who scored just on Thursday against BYU in the 1-1 tie. And Nia Graham, who's the leading goal scorer for Las Vegas with 3 goals. Those two gentlemen lead the line. Also for Las Vegas, their head coach, Ronnie Cherry today is taking over for this specific game, as Paul Barron, their regular manager, did not travel for this game either. And now taking a look at the SF City starting 11 as we get set to be underway here. Manny Jimenez in goal. 4 men in the back line. It's unchanged. Barry McCabe, Christian DeLuna, Kevin Gould, the 2 center backs. Bobby Edwards at left back. In the holding midfield position is Jordan Hughes. Dylan Murphy just above him in the box-to-box midfield role. Merlin Baus, who scored 2 goals against BYU last week. At the number 10 spot, the attacking midfielder, Ashley Watson on the right, Nick Littleton on the left, and through the middle, Johannes DeMarzi. Nick Littleton, of course, captaining this team. We're almost set to be underway here at Kezar Stadium. Charles Wolin with you. It's an honor and pleasure to be with you as SF City kicks off a bit of a homestand here. Joe Dugan. And we are set and we are rolling. And thank you so much for tuning into this broadcast here. By tuning into this broadcast, you help to grow the game of soccer in this country, the United States of America. Of course, we'll have the whole thing for you live on the Bay Area Online Sports Network via YouTube and Ustream, sponsored, of course, by Classy.
You know, having played here many times on this field and this facility is in exceptional shape. It's very well grassed. A lot of times it wasn't because they play so much high school football here, but being in a spring and summer league, this field is in exceptional condition.
Well, a quick throw in on the far side for Las Vegas, and the fans are really filling in here. A great atmosphere. Lots of fans singing, of course, in the corner, trying to turn the corner. No foul given. I think the referee did point, and I think it is going to be a first free kick opportunity here to Vegas on the far side.
Yeah, I believe you're right, Charles. I believe he did call for a free kick. So this is a dangerous opportunity for Las Vegas.
Julian Portugal standing over the ball, played at the Tulsa Roughnecks, also a local product who went to UNLV as well. He played professionally in Mexico too. It's an in-swinging corner on that right foot, far side by himself, crossed in, and it's in the back of the net. Early for Las Vegas. The cross came in from Nia Graham on the far side. And it's an early goal for Las Vegas.
And the Las Vegas forward was very composed, keeping that ball at his feet, noticing the open teammate on the far post, just lifting it up for him to head through the goalie's hands.
And we'll take another look at this right here as SF City switched off. It's 1-0 in favor of Vegas in this early going. As you can see, this cross comes in from Nia Graham, puts it back in on his right foot, and right to his strike partner, Jackson Collins, who's playing on that left side. And Vegas up 1-0 here. So SF City going to have to play from behind. Kind of a familiar thing here, though, at Kezar. They've had to come from behind before, especially at this stadium. They've done it. This is Ashley Watson now on the ball. Threads it in for DeMarzi on the right side for SF City. Low and on the ground. Almost breaks through. Ashley Watson by himself. It's in the back of the net, but it's ruled offside as the referee sees that the infringement happened right away, but a nice counterattack right there nevertheless, Joe.
Interesting. I didn't see the offside. I don't know if he called a foul or offsides, but nevertheless, the strategy that we just outlined a few moments ago has now changed. They can't sit back and be conservative. They're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive, perhaps having a higher line of confrontation.
And you can see there Ashley Watson with a nice, neat finish on his left foot, but not given. And here is Nia Graham for Vegas. Into the feet of Baus, and he slips. Baus named to the Premier Development League Team of the Week. And very high on him. Plays in that number 10 position, the attacking midfield role. 2 goals for him against BYU on Saturday a week ago. Ball lofted in, looking for Nick Littleton. And this is Bobby Edwards on this left side. Back into the feet of Baus.
And you can see Coach Patty Coyne has changed his strategy just a bit because of the early goal by Las Vegas. So you can see Bobby Edwards on the left-hand side, almost playing as a left wing, really pushing forward, trying to get more penetration.
Building out of that, this is Jordan Hughes. And now to Kevin Gould. Gould and Christian DeLuna, who played together as the 2 center backs for the University of San Francisco, and just right in front of them, Jordan Hughes as well. Quite a few USF players in this starting 11.
Right, should lend for a lot of familiarity and hopefully a lot of cohesion.
And on the flip side for Vegas, they actually have 4 of their starters that go to Notre Dame de Namur Community College in the South Bay. And they play for this Vegas team. There's 6 of them in all. Well, they've got the Bay Area connection for sure, and they play their summer ball for this Vegas team. And now this is Bobby Edwards down this left side, trying to find the feet of DeMarzi, cut out by Portugal, and Portugal will just send a long ball down the right side, looking for Guzman. And there's Manny Jimenez with the quick feet. Manny Jimenez actually displaced Austin Harms recently as the number 1 for SF City. He's firmly in that role, the SF State keeper.
And that was a lot of composure there by Manny. That was nice to see. Right back to Christian's feet, rather than just kicking the ball endlessly down the field.
Well, a goal in minute number 2 for Vegas right off of the bat. SF City switching off.
Well, you know, an early goal or a late goal, they can often open up a game. So, like I said, this should be a more open game now. I wouldn't see anybody sitting back. Let's see if Las Vegas sits back a bit, but it doesn't look like it so far.
Yeah, another long throw in here on this far side. Kevin Gould with the header. Jimenez is there, though. And Patty Coyne likes Jimenez for his distribution out of the back. That's why he's displaced Harms in as the number 1. Crossfield ball by Murphy, cut out, and on the counterattack, Nia Graham is in. Tries to find the feet of a teammate, a dummy over the ball by Jackson Collins. And this is Baus. He's got McCabe to the right. And DeMarzi. And his ball all the way to the left side for Littleton. Vegas will reset.
Now it looks like Patty's asking his team to press high, try to keep Las Vegas in their defensive third. I like that strategy.
Well, that was a bit of an awkward throw in.
Looked like it never went in, so it'll be a retake.
Hey, you don't see that too much, but the fog and the wind here really make things very, very exciting, or just straight weird indeed. Guzman dispossessed. Now into the feet of Murphy. Gould out wide now to McCabe. Barry McCabe that didn't travel to BYU, but a fan favorite here for San Francisco City football fans. He was in the Team of the Week 2 weeks ago for scoring a 90th minute goal against Ventura. And you can see Ronnie Cherry there looking perplexed, but his team is in command. And certainly they'd love to come into San Francisco and see if they can get a result against this SF City team.
SF City is showing good patience, playing the ball out of the back, trying to keep possession. They're just not able to penetrate the midfield yet.
This is to Girosh, all the way to the left side for Kobe Hunt, who settles, and now Robert Hines gets a touch. Vegas just settling the ball around their back line too, maybe trying to play out of the back themselves. Hines, long ball, or rather not play out of the back. Maybe a big one all the way down the field. Edwards now for SF City. Bounce on the ball. He'll switch the field through the feet of Gould. Gould, who graduated from the University of San Francisco this past December. Bounce, long ball. He's looking for Ashley Watson on this right side. Watson playing as an inverted winger, as Patty Coyne told us before. Jordan Hughes now. Ball all the way to the left corner flag for Nick Littleton. Littleton down the sideline. Still Littleton for SF City. Inside for DeMarzi. And his shot goes over and wide. He couldn't be able to come all the way around through on the ball. And the ball ricochets out wide, but a very nice opportunity.
Very nice opportunity. Nick Littleton made a great penetrating run and put the ball right there on tee for the a goal and opportunity. Yeah, that was an opportunity that you're not going to see too many of. And penetrate the box, more opportunities will come.
Vegas with possession now in the SF City half, controlling the ball. Hines down the right side, looking for Guzman, and DeLuna shields it out for a goal kick. SF City 3-0-1. They are undefeated in the Central Pacific Division in this Western Conference in the PDL. Las Vegas 2-3-2. They played a few games more than SF City, 7 in all. SF City, this is just their 5th match.
That was an opportunity there to break the line, right? So when you're going for the defense to the midfield, you want to break their lines on defense. But unfortunately, right now, SF City is trying to do a little bit too much in midfield. And so they're not breaking the line, they're losing it.
Again, this is the first overall meeting between the two clubs.
And it looks like Vegas is happy to sit back with a low line of confrontation so far. And they can do that with the opportunity they have being up 1-0.
This is their 2nd game in 3 days as they played against BYU. They've scored 10 goals in all, well now 11, and they are the league leaders in goals scored, but they're also the league leaders in goals conceded with 13. Now, this is DeMarzi inside looking for Baus, and it's going to go for the first corner of the game for San Francisco City FC.
So that was another good penetrating run with a negative ball back. Unfortunately for San Francisco City, Las Vegas was able to clear it out.
Watson with the service into the box. Bounce is able to control, but stolen down this left side and stolen back by Kevin Gould. Referee says play on. Now to the feet of Watson. SF City with the ball in the Vegas final third. Edwards. Littleton, who made that run down that sideline and put the ball back into the feet of DeMarzi, who had a really nice opportunity. McCabe, down the right side. This is Bouse, who seems to be all over the place already. Bouse's ball, and bounces right in front of goalkeeper Alex Cluis.
But they're showing signs, SF City is showing signs now of penetrating their offensive third, which is a very good thing.
This is Popovich now for Vegas, and he's a calm presence on the ball indeed. He really kind of controls the game. Alongside him, of course, Portugal, who served in that free kick in the second minute for the goal that went to the far side, which was a nice opportunity. Both those two obviously have a very good understanding in central midfield.
Right, they're their go-to players. They make things happen. And so far, like you said, Charles, they've shown a lot of calm, cool presence. Not a lot has gone through the middle of the field for SF City.
This is Littleton now. Littleton with a nice ball over to the right side. He finds Ashley Watson on the right. He's got DeMarzi inside as well. Watson, his ball, weighted to the left side and doesn't find anyone's feet or their head. We're just 15 minutes in now.
Excuse me, Charles. That was a very nice opening ball. Unfortunately for SF City, they didn't attack in numbers. If you notice, when the cross came over, there was one person in the box, one attacker in the box. They need 3 or 4 in there.
This is McCabe down the right side. He finds the feet of Watson. Again, Watson and Littleton are two inverted wingers today for SF City. Watson will break back on that left foot from the right side, and Littleton on his right foot from the left side.
Christian Luna got a little lazy there with a casual ball, but he was fortunate. The ball went out of bounds. SF City is doing a nice job of spreading the ball around, playing in the back, being patient, and now this is where they need to find the channels and go forward.
Almost like they need to find that next gear, as Vegas is being very patient to pick their spots when they want to attack.
Very well said.
This is Dylan Murphy. And now Gould. DeLuna now, who's got 1 year left at the University of San Francisco, certainly might become a professional after next year. This is his first season with SF City FC.
Yeah, that was a foul, actually on a penetrating run. He's actually lucky he didn't get a card for that, because what referees don't want to do is slow the pace of the game down, especially on attacking runs with needless fouls.
Free kick here to SF City. Nick Littleton with his hands on his hips. Littleton and his service not able to hit anyone. Now Gould. Can he find another gear here for SF City and put a good ball in? It's headed away nicely by Esteban Baruman. Vegas have been very solid defensively so far. They've been opened up a few times, but
looks like
nevertheless, they're very patient and disciplined. Baruman now on this right side, and he's looking to find Josh Guzman, but cut out by SF City. Murphy. And And now Baus. SF City with a lot of possession here. Vegas fine to play on the counterattack as they've got their goal, can sit in a little bit more. And they've been disciplined at doing so far. Quick ball out, down this right side. Ball looking for Josh Guzman, floated out. Bobby Edwards on this left side for SF City. Can DeLuna and company switch the field? Looks like through the feet of Jimenez. And they can, they do win a throw. Kobe Hunt trying to clear the ball. Into the feet of DeMarzi, who loses a little bit of a step there. This is Bobby Edwards. And now finds Jordan Hughes. Nice ball by Hughes out to the right side for Ashley Watson. He's ruled offside.
Curious call. Curious call because of the offsides is only offsides if he's offsides before the ball is played.
Reset here for the Mobsters. Founded in 2013. This is their third season in the PDL. They played their last 2 seasons in the Mountain Division. This is their first year in the Central Pacific Division. Niagran with a flick. DeLuna with a header. And a bit of an infringement. SF City will have the chance to reset now.
Quick restart.
And now Murphy. This is McCabe coming up on the 20th minute mark now. And DeMarzi, who had a glorious chance to make this 1-1 already. And since Vegas has scored that goal, Joe, they just have been sitting back all day, but they've been quite disciplined, don't you think?
They've been very disciplined, very keeping their defensive shape very good. Again, nothing's gone through the middle offensively for SF City, and that's to Las Vegas's credit.
Yeah, certainly it's been all down the wings. I would assume at some point Baus would step up a little higher and maybe get on the ball there, but he's kind of all over the place, and he, DeMarzi, and Littleton can all switch position. This is Edwards now, who won a penalty and scored a goal against BYU. Down this left side, great ball by Littleton. This is Baus, and it's going to be the second corner kick to SF City FC.
Great ball by Littleton to find that diagonal run on the ground. Unfortunately, the cross couldn't get over. Let's see what they do here on the corner kick. Short corner.
Short corner, and now Baus. Back onto his left foot. Baus's ball, and goes over everyone's head.
Short corners are a great opportunity to take on the defender because 9 times out of 10 they only send 1 defender out, and if you do a short corner you have 2. So you can go at the defender trying to penetrate the box, drawing more defenders to you, and then release for a oncoming attacker.
And when Patty Coyne spoke with us earlier today, he kind of wants the 2v1 on those wings with the outside back pushing up high, as well as those 2 wingers. So the ball floated in, and it was a bit of a dangerous ball, and it looked like Matthew DeKirosh had to be very, very cautious indeed, but Alex Cluis was right there.
And I think that was a planned play there. Back to the goalkeeper. Risky, but I think it was planned.
Yeah, definitely no nerves on that one. Now the ball on this left side for Baus, who's popped up a couple times now on this side. Littleton back into the feet of Edwards. A lot of these attacks have been down this left side through Littleton and Baus. Yeah, we'll take a look at this right here once more, Joe, as the ball was served in. Nice little chest back there by the right back, Matthew DeKirosh. Good communication between him and Alex Lewis.
Littleton was calling for a handball, but the angle didn't allow us to see that, so referee said play on. Unlike the USA game last night when they called the handball.
Oh, that was much more clear handball, of course, Joe, than that one.
It was. Unfortunately for the USA.
Down this right side, this is Esteban Baruman. And it goes through to Luna's feet. Gould has to clear.
Well played.
Littleton is upended. Just halfway through this first half here, Vegas with the early goal was scored by Jackson Collins. That's his third of the year, assisted by Nia Graham. Who else? Graham already with 3 goals himself. And they are currently spoiling the SF City home opener party here in foggy San Francisco. And they're going to be the ones maybe going down Haight Street later today, celebrating 3 points. But a lot of soccer to be played, of course. A quarter of the game gone already, though. This is DeLuna. His ball switching over from a center channel to the left for Littleton.
It seems like the game is opening up a bit. It seems Vegas is even happier to sit back even further now. And let's see if SF City can penetrate. The key to them penetrating is going through the midfield on the ground and then attacking into their offensive third. Not to send the ball over the top. That doesn't seem to be working so far.
This is McCabe now for SF City. McCabe, he's looking for DeMarzy. DeMarzy's ball, can he get to the end line?
DeMarzy really made a play out of nothing there. Very good effort.
And he is the center forward, the number 9 for SF City FC. Patty Coyne still trying to find his first 11. When we spoke with him this morning, he feels like he found his first 11. He doesn't really want to change a winning team. DeMarzy a little bit undersized for that number 9 role, but I know he's really fired up to play in that position today. In fact, I was actually told that he went to work before this game because he didn't know how to pass the time, which is a true story, by the way.
Play on.
This is Watson now on the right side. Watson back onto his favored left foot. Watson over the defenders. Onside, it's DeMarzy. Still DeMarzy. Johannes DeMarzy. And it's just off the post.
Wow. DeMarzy did not get all of that. He is really kicking himself, no pun intended. He did not get all of that.
Well, that's his second opportunity already. We'll take a look at this replay in just a second. I think after the corner kick. This is Watson now. He'll serve it in on his left foot. Watson. It's a nice ball all the way to the far side, headed away and headed back by the Vegas defense. And a little bit of a pooch ball over the top and held by Alex Lewis. But take a look at this opportunity. DeMarzy breaking back onto that left foot, and it just hits the post. I want to thank our production team, of course. I actually didn't see the ball. I thought that the goalkeeper, Lewis, had it. So shout out to Stephen Davies in the truck for making me have an extra pair of eyes there. This is Littleton here.
Yeah.
And
excellent replay.
A restart.
Yeah, that was another golden opportunity. So if you think about the game so far, who's had more chances, who's had more opportunities since the first goal? I think clearly SF City. But that's soccer. If you can't finish, you don't win.
And Vegas has been extremely well disciplined and composed. Although they look very vulnerable at times, you kind of get this feeling that, you know, they've been through this kind of thing before, and they play against other possession-oriented teams, getting great results, of course, against the Burlingame, which is a top team in this league and against in this conference as well. You know, had a great weekend at home last weekend with the tie and then a win. And in the 90th minute, they may have gotten all 3 points in the first game. So, you know, and speaking with Ronnie Cherry before the game, he had said that their first game against Burlingame, they deserved the 3 points as well. So, you know, a couple points drop, but they'll take the 4 points, right?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. I think they're playing very well as a unit. They're being very disciplined. They may not be the most talented team, but because of their continuity, they are very hard to penetrate. So they're giving away very little. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, SF City.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Classy. It's a fundraising platform for organizations focused on positive social change. They are trusted by over 2,500 of the world's top nonprofits and social enterprises and are a proud partner of SF City FC, of course, on the front of the jerseys.
Just to finish my thought, I was saying as...
DeMarzy, and he hits the bar! Back to Bobby Edwards! Oh, and it's just over for SF City FC!
Unlike the last play, DeMarzy got all of that and then some. Imploring his team to really pick it up. This is great.
And taking a look at this again, DeMarzy with probably his third golden opportunity on that left foot, and he hits the bar. But Bobby Edwards with another fine chance on his right foot just to swirl that one in, curve it in on the right side, or excuse me, on the left side with his right foot.
I really like Edwards' opportunity. He took a look up before he shot that, saw the right post open. Unfortunately, he just missed it.
Edwards, who graduated from Stanford in 2014, was not part of the national championship team of 2015, but of course stays in touch with his teammates. And SF City played a warm-up game against Stanford earlier in the year, and he got a chance to see those teammates that won that championship, playing 3 years with those guys before they went on to win the championship. Edwards, an engineer at Fitbit here in San Francisco, so he can work in technology and play for SF City at the same time.
Does he wear a Fitbit while he's playing?
I'm not sure the answer to that question, Joe, but we can, of course, find out if he scores a goal, and we get a chance to interview him at the end of the game.
Well, I think it's a key to Patty Coyne's strategy to keep pushing Bobby Edwards forward. He's a very good player who can attack from the back. He starts off at left back, but the higher he gets, the more dangerous SF City is to attacking the goal and getting a goal.
Yeah, and Edwards, a versatile player, can play all across the back line and probably most comfortable as a defensive midfielder. He played in that role for Stanford with his 4 years on the farm down in Palo Alto. Well, this is Dylan Murphy now for San Francisco City FC, switching the field, finding the feet of DeLuna, heading upfield with Nick Littleton. Ball from the center channel to the right, a nice one. This is Barry McCabe trying to float in Ashley Watson. McCabe back with possession. Murphy, and now Littleton. And now Bouse popping up on the right side.
This is when they need to find DeMarzy's feet. Unfortunately, they're happy and satisfied to go back. They need to go forward and find DeMarzy's feet.
And is that because he's kind of an undersized target? Edwards swerves in, comes off DeMarzy's chest, brought down by Murphy.
To answer your question, Charles, no. They need to find his feet. They need to find those open channels. Perhaps he needs to create those open channels for his teammates to find him, but they need to go forward and find his feet. He's very good once he has the ball in those positions.
Nice defending there by Vegas. Ball swerved in, headed away. It's going to go, looks like, for another corner. The third corner of the game for SF City FC. Excuse me, fourth corner of the game for SF City FC. And a substitution here for Vegas. Robert Garcia will enter the game. DeMarzy with the corner kick, floated in to the far side. Goes through everyone's feet. This is Bobby Edwards. DeLuna! And DeLuna's header, kind of a strange one. He didn't really catch that right. He was trying to, I guess, cross it to the far side. But
yeah, it looked like he was looking for a runner coming into the far post. And unfortunately, they just didn't get on the end of it. See Patty Coyne keeping his substitutions loose there at the end of the field. always being ready, which is a good sign. Almost 32 minutes gone in the first half.
Substitution here for Vegas. Coming off is Josh Guzman. And Robert Garcia now entering the fray as a striker. And I just got to say, Joe, the defending by Vegas has been superb indeed. I mean, they're sitting back with all 10 behind the ball. I mean, it's really interesting. And the thing is you can tell that they've done this before, like I had mentioned about 5 minutes ago, is it's almost like they're used to soaking up this amount of pressure, getting their goal and doing that, and playing against a possession-oriented team like SF City.
Well, they are a very cohesive unit. You know, they're very unselfish. They're well coached. They're sticking together. They're actually, the center backs actually aren't challenged much, but they are staying together. Therefore, they're a wall in itself that San Francisco or SF City is not able to penetrate yet.
Oh, Ronnie Cherry has done a superb job so far in this game with his team. Ball down this left side, looking for Baus. It's a 1v1 situation for him. Will he take on his man? Watson now, who's drifted in more centrally for SF City. Down this left side. Throw in for SF City. DeLuna now. Calmly on the ball, out of the back, searching for an equalizer, and that's really been the theme of this entire half. Vegas got an early goal. SF City has just attacked, and nothing's gone in the back of the net for them thus far.
And that was a very good example of what you're just speaking of, attacking. You know, Barry McCabe there's the right back, but he's now all the way up to the right wing. So that's a good thing, but I think they might have to play with a little bit more patience, because they need a build-up rather than going up over the top. And again, as you pointed out, Charles, this line of confrontation for Las Vegas has really now dropped. And in my estimation, it's dropped a good 15, 20 yards.
Edwards now for Littleton. He's closed down by Robert Hines, and Hines has been exceptional today. Him and Eric Bojado, the two center backs. It's a nice pairing. They've been very patient indeed. All that extra work on the training ground. You can definitely tell that these players are used to playing with one another. And for SF City, it's actually not the case. They've just recently gotten this group together over the last 3 weeks to a month. SF City joining the PDL for the first time this year, playing in the NorCal Premier for 2 seasons, which is essentially the fourth and a half division of soccer in this country, or 5th division in this country, and now moving up as a supporter-run and owned club. 51% of the club, and the ball's turned over there at the top of the area. This is Baruman, and Baruman's shot on that right side goes over the bar.
But this is the part of the game where you're going to see mistakes like this happen on both ends, because players are tired, they're fatigued, and they're trying to catch up.
And you can take a look at this replay here by Baruman, of course, closed down by DeLuna, but still was able to get a nice opportunity, a shot off there. Dylan Murphy coughing the ball up. Not the best ball in the back in the final third. Really don't want to do that, because if Vegas gets another opportunity, they will punish you.
And so you see Barry McCabe there did find DeMarzi's feet. That's a good sign.
Nice work there by Nia Graham. Jimenez, and now DeLuna. Down the right side, McCabe with possession. McCabe with the ball over the top, a little bit advantageous, looking for Littleton.
And you can hear the coaches saying, Barry, it's okay, just settle down a little bit. Try to play the feet, not over the top all the time. It's okay once in a while Just the coaches were imploring him to keep it on the pitch.
Murphy switching the field for the ever-dangerous Watson. Loves to take players on 1v1. Watson now switching the field back to Littleton. Littleton on this right side, into the feet of Edwards. Edwards with a missed chip there. Bit of an awkward ball, but SF City's able to recover. DeLuna, and into the feet of goal scorer Jackson Collins. And this is Popovich. Stolen by Gould, and now the feet of Hughes. Hughes, great ball, looking for DeMarzy. DeMarzy shot, and it just hits the outside of the net.
I believe that was a great save by Alex Cluis, their goalkeeper from Las Vegas. Very, very good, hard, low shot on goal, on frame.
It's going to be a corner kick here. We'll take a look. Just after this corner for Ashley Watson. I believe it's the 5th corner for SF City FC. It's floated in. It's to the far side for Littleton with possession for SF City. And now Hughes. Hughes' ball. It's a nice one. Will it bounce down or find someone's feet, or will Vegas clear? There's Robert Hines, of course. But now stolen by Littleton, and Hines again with the secondary tackle. He is right there. And again, impressive stuff by the Vegas center back, Hines, being able to get in that small space, being able to get that tackle in, staying tight on DeMarzy, and having an excellent game so far.
After he lost the ball, he didn't panic. He immediately won the ball back, which every coach will tell you to do. Get that ball back within 3 to 4 seconds.
Top of the area in the final third. This is Bounce. You want him on the ball. DeLuna. And now Hughes. Jordan Hughes. Bit of a lazy ball by Hughes. He's going to close down Baruman here on this right side. Hughes getting pushed by Baruman. Baruman, will he get to the end line? Slow moving. Double teamed. And it looks like it's going to go for a throw in deep inside the SF City half. Another throw in. It's going to be a deep throw in. It's going to be taken by Popovich. SF City conceded off of a set piece earlier, and the ball bouncing around that back line. Popovich again will take this throw for Vegas. And looks like there's an injured player on the field. With a personal loan from Freedom Plus, you could score any goal, from paying off credit card debt to financing a home renovation. Flexible terms on fixed-rate loans up to $35,000 are available now. Visit freedomplus.com to get your free no-risk quote. Freedom Plus is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and proud supporter of SF City FC. Corner kick now to the Las Vegas Mobsters, now in this 40th minute of action at Kezar Stadium, as it's SF City 0, Las Vegas 1.
Now this is a very curious opportunity. SF City has not performed well defensively on these corner kicks.
This is the goal scorer, Jackson Collins. And SF City marshals it out. It's going to be another throw-in. And this last little attacking foray for SF City really kind of going against the run of play in this last few moments. They've had a couple of throw-ins and a corner, and now one more. Thrown on in, headed away, and caught by Manny Jimenez. Quick ball out to Watson. Watson with possession. Now McCabe able to settle at that right back spot. Barry McCabe, a very versatile player. Started as a central midfield player, can play all across in those three positions, but settled it right back. DeLuna, ball over the top. He's looking for Bouse. Can Bouse get there? But a long ball, second ball won by Edwards. Kept in, and it's going to be a throw-in, a deep throw-in for SF City. 43rd minute. Will they be able to get in a goal maybe before the end of the half is the question against a very stingy defense.
But you notice SF City is putting all the numbers forward now. So let's see if they can get a penetrating ball with this long throw into the box.
DeMarzi. Littleton is there. So is Popovich, though. And Popovich is able to clear. So he's chased down by Littleton. DeLuna able to keep possession for SF City. DeLuna now. On the ground, into the feet of McCabe. McCabe, the Irishman, down the sideline. This is Bouse. Finds Murphy. Murphy and now McCabe again. This is DeMarzi. Back into the feet of Bouse. Bouse, Murphy. Ball over to the left side for Bobby Edwards. They're looking for a cross. Back onto his right foot. Can he find it? He finds the feet of Littleton that's closed down quickly. Every single Vegas player behind the ball. Haven't even played through the end of the first half yet. Shouts of a handball there on the ball win by Garcia. Turns it over, and this is Watson. Hughes. It looks like SF City's working a little quicker with these passes and trying to get up the field quicker as well, Joe, as opposed to the beginning when they were a little bit more lethargic.
Well, they're trying, but they're still not finding, DeMarzi's feet. They need to have penetrating passes, and those penetrating passes can't always be attempted over the defense.
This is Garcia now. Onto his left foot. Stolen by Hughes. SF City has a go at it again. Down the right side. This is McCabe. Finds the feet of DeMarzi. Finds McCabe again. McCabe's cross. And it's going to go away for another corner. It's going to be the 6th corner of this game for SF City FC.
Now, if you see the time, there's very little time left, depending on the extra time the referee allows. But this is an opportunity, in my opinion, to take a short corner kick because you'll catch the defense off guard. And unfortunately, they're not going to do it. But Ashley Watson has been putting in some very good corners. So let's see what he does here.
It's going to be an in-swinging corner. 1 minute left to go. And it's headed away. It's going to be another corner on this right side. They've got to hurry up to get it off before the end of this first half. DeMarzi will take. He'll have an in-swinger as well on that right foot of his. DeMarzi's ball, a little bit lazy. Throw in for SF City. There's just 1 minute of added time that's been added. DeMarzi headed away. Gould gets in there. Hughes as well. And free kick to Vegas. And it looks like that's actually the end of the first half of action right here. Vegas scoring first in this game in the 2nd minute through Jackson Collins, his 3rd goal of this campaign. He was served in, of course, by Nia Graham after the ball was off of a free kick through Julian Portugal. We're going to go down to our sideline reporter, Shelly Alingus, with Coach Ronnie Cherry to get his views on the first half.
Hi, Coach. You started off strong with a great header to put you up 1-0 in this match. What's going to be the focus for the second half to stay ahead?
I think a lot of it's going to be the discipline because we're going to have the wind against us, so discipline defending and then looking to counter from there.
Well, thank you. Great. Good luck in the second half. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so
Charles.
much, Shelly, for that. Really appreciate that. That's Ronnie Cherry, the head coach of the Las Vegas Mobsters. He's actually stepping in this week because head coach Paul Barron did not travel Las Vegas with the advantage here in the SF City FC home opener. So at the break, it's SF City 0, the Las Vegas Mobsters 1. We will be right back after this. and we'll take a look at the first half highlights. Mobsters.
When we bought our new Outback from Putnam Subaru of Burlingame in San Francisco, we experienced more. Experience more with Putnam Subaru of Burlingame in San Francisco.
I was one of those guys who didn't think the Army had anything for me. Then I found out that less than 0.1% of all Americans wear the uniform of an Army officer. It's a small group of us, but we're among the most highly educated compared to many other corporations or institutions. I was surprised at what I found in being an officer and at what the Army helped bring out of me. I'm Major Miles B. Caggins III, Officer, United States Army.
Find a stronger future as an officer at goarmy.com/officer. There's strong, then there's Army Strong.
One of our successes has always been able to find the B personalities, and the B personality just stands for Butler, which means fitting into our organization. We could have been a much bigger company if we had chosen to be, but it's been the philosophy of both myself, Bill, and the leadership team to stay at a size that we really know all of our team members and their family members, because we're only as good as the team member sitting next to us.
The Putnam family is celebrating 50 years of service The Putnam family is celebrating 50 years of service in the Bay Area. From the nation's top brands with thousands of cars to choose from, the best certified pre-owned vehicles, the Putnam Dealership Group delivers. Test drive in the open space of the peninsula. After 50 years, our overhead is so low, we're passing the savings on to you. Our customers love us, and it shows with our online reviews. Make your next stop at the Putnam Auto Mall on California Drive in Burlingame.
The recognition they deserve for, the work that they're doing, and also discover.
Organizations out there interested in applying to go through the process. It's helpful for your own thinking internally. What are you putting out there? What does research show?
They benefit from that experience by receiving the recognition they deserve.
San Francisco, California, as SF City is down by a score of 1-0 here as the Las Vegas Mobsters scored in the second minute of action as SF City switched off right in the beginning of this game. You're taking a look at the Lotto Norte SF City Northsiders, the most passionate fans that SF City has. Of course, the club is supporter-run and owned, meaning the fans own 51% of the club. And now we're going to go take a look at the first half highlights, starting with that first goal. And as you can see there, Julian Portugal started it off back to the far side. Nia Graham floats the ball in, and then Jackson Collins is right there at the far side.
And Nia Graham did a fantastic job being composed, keeping the ball at his foot, looked up, and found his teammate at the far post.
Well, Vegas kind of soldiered on from there, but it was all SF City. This was Nick Littleton. About 5 or 6 minutes later, he squared the ball up to DeMarzi, walked down that tight rope, and DeMarzi fired wide.
And you can see DeMarzi was cognizant of the great pass. Unfortunately, he knew he made a mistake. Here he is again.
back onto his left foot. This is another chance for DeMarzy, and it hit the outside of the stanchion and went for a corner kick. Here's DeMarzy again. This is hitting the bar on his left foot, and he's definitely going to be hungry in the second half. Bobby Edwards, of course, following up on his right foot.
Right.
And then this is a giveaway here by Dylan Murphy. Garcia holds the ball up and threads it to the right-sided midfielder Esteban Baruman, who had a nice opportunity to maybe make it 2-0. Jordan Hughes, penetrative ball into the feet of DeMarzy with the shot, and it goes to the outside of the post. Glorious save there by Alex Cluis.
Very nice save.
So we are at the break right now. SF City 0, Las Vegas 1. We'll be right back with the second half kickoff. Charles Wolin and Joe Dugan with you. 45 minutes to play our stadium.
I was one of those guys who didn't think the Army had anything for me. Then I found out that less than 0.1% of all Americans wear the uniform of an Army officer. It's a small group of us, but we're among the most highly educated compared to many other corporations or institutions. I was surprised at what I found in being an officer and at what the Army helped bring out of me. I'm Major Miles B. Caggins III, Officer, United States Army.
Find a stronger future as an officer at goarmy.com/officer. There's strong, then there's Army strong.
One of our successes has always been able to find the B personalities, and the B personality just stands for Butler, which means fitting into our organization. We could have been a much bigger company if we had chosen to be, but it's been the philosophy of both myself, Bill, and the leadership team to stay at a size that we really know all of our team members and their family members, because we're only as good as the team member sitting next to us.
The Putnam family is celebrating 50 years of service in the Bay Area. From the nation's top brands with thousands of cars to choose from, the best certified pre-owned vehicles the Putnam Dealership Group delivers. Test drive in the open space of the peninsula. After 50 years, our overhead is so low we're passing the savings on to you. Our customers love us, and it shows with our online reviews. Make your next stop at the Putnam Auto Mall on California Drive in Burlingame.
You can see the El Norteño taco truck as fans are getting a quick bite on the far side, the north side action on the track here at Kezar Stadium. The 49ers used to play in this stadium. Of course, the 5-time Super Bowl champions. Now they play at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, about 50 miles south, just to kind of give you some geography if you've never been around this area. And you can see the seats that those fans are sitting in right there. Those are the Candlestick Park seats, and the 49ers played in Candlestick Park for 40 years after they played in this stadium, and they moved those Candlestick Park seats here last year in a redo in 2015, which is really kind of a cool aesthetic and really part of this wonderful stadium. It's been redone a few times. It's about a capacity of 10,000. We've probably got around 2,000 here today. But what a great place for soccer, and as a municipal stadium, you know, the home for SF City FC. Joe?
Fantastic facility. This facility actually has a lot of soccer history to it. Aberdeen has played here. Manchester United has played here. National teams have played here. Some very famous players on those teams have played here. So it's not just the former 49ers home. It is a very rich soccer history here at Kezar Stadium, right in the middle of the city. And again, the facility, the field is in great shape, which is conducive to good football, to good soccer played on the ground.
Yeah, and of course, there's plenty open U.S. Open Cup matches that have been played in this stadium. The last professional team to play in this stadium was the California Victory of USL back in 2007, coached by Glenn Von Stratum, who, of course, you know is a University of San Francisco alum. He's in the University of San Francisco Hall of Fame. And back in 2007, they had a nice little run in the U.S. Open Cup. But they played their USL home games here. USL, of course.
Hey, Coach, defense let in an early goal in the first minute. But after that, it seemed that they were able to settle a bit. What did you tell the team in the locker room to get them motivated to produce some goals in the second half?
Just stick with the game plan. You know, we've been doing well. We've had about 80% possession. We're getting it wide. We've had opportunities, hit the crossbar, hit the post twice. It's got to be a bit more mentally resilient now and really go for it second half, create more opportunities.
So what's the focus for the second half this time?
Shots on goal.
Well, we hope it works. Thank you so much, Coach. Back to you, Charles and Joe.
And you can see that wonderful Tifo City are coming, kind of the Paul Revere look there, Joe. Almost bringing you back to 1770s timing, probably when you were born, but at the same time, the Northsiders doing a great job of putting that beautiful Paul Revere sign up. And we're almost getting ready for the second half of action here at Kezar. The sun just starting to break through. I don't know if the fog is going to be such a factor in this second half, but it is blowing from left to right, and SF City is going from left to right here, as you can see. The score, brought to you by Classy, of course, is SF City 0, Las Vegas 1. And on your score bug, that's a little differently there. So it's Las Vegas 1 up on SF City FC. And we are ready for the second half. No changes for Patty Coyne's team just yet, as they had a number of opportunities. DeMarzi going closest by hitting the bar, having a couple other really important chances as well. This is Bobby Edwards now for SF City, down the left side. He's looking for the captain in Littleton, sails over his head. If you're Las Vegas in the second half, Joe, how do you kind of soak up the pressure as much, or do you get a couple of other chances and kind of work their way around, or are you just comfortable doing what you've been doing?
I think the latter. I think that they're very successful doing, staying with a low line of defense, absorbing the pressure that SF City is giving them. And if they can counter, they can counter. If they can't, I don't think they're too fussed, because right now they're a goal up. And even though SF City had some very good opportunities, they're still up 1-0. So if I was their coach, I would tell them to absorb the pressure the same exact way they did in the first half and take their chances where they come.
This is Kobe Hunt, who's upended. And now the goal scorer, Jackson Collins, back into the feet of Hunt. Down the left side, trying to thread a ball in into the feet of Garcia, who came on as a substitute for Josh Guzman in this first half. Again, 4 of these players in the starting 11 from Notre Dame de Namur University in the South Bay, a community college. 6 of them in total play for this Las Vegas program.
And I like how Patty Coyne, coach of SF City, has not changed the lineup. He has confidence, he has trust in his players, he likes the continuity, and he's going to stick with them until a little bit down the road here, unless there's any changes in the score. Then I would look for a change perhaps up front, or maybe in the outside midfielders.
Popovich now will have a throw-in, a deep throw-in again for Las Vegas. They were very successful at getting these balls in there, and SF City having kind of a tougher time in being able to win the balls in the air. Certainly the aerial battle won by Las Vegas in the first half. Popovich for Vegas, headed away by Gould, and that's a lovely strike, and it's in the back of the net!
Wow,
it's
did he
Esteban
take that well?
Baruman on the volley for Las Vegas. My goodness. What a goal by Baruman. It was a lazy second ball, and it's SF City 0, Las Vegas 2.
Very, very well struck ball.
And looking at this on the second ball, and his left foot hits the bottom of the inside of the post and rattles on in.
And Manny Jimenez was not out of position. He actually got a hand to it, did a very good job. It was just a professional strike by Berman.
Yeah, Baruman really getting a hold of that one. That's a fine goal. Certainly a candidate for maybe a PDL goal of the week. We haven't even played the end of this first half yet.
Wow, 2 quick goals at each half for Las Vegas. That is a shocker.
Littleton throws the ball in. Hughes with the shot. And Hughes' shot deflected. You probably wouldn't count on him to score a goal because he does play in that holding midfield position in front of the back four. But hey, why not have a goal? Because now SF City really needs to push forward. Down 2 goals, giving up another early goal in this second half.
And Charles, you'll notice where the goal came from, a set piece. Just like yesterday's USA game, 2 goals off 2 set pieces. Oftentimes on set pieces, you look for those second balls as an attacker. So the defense might clear with a header the first ball, but then you look for the opportunity on the second ball, and that's exactly what Las Vegas took advantage of the opportunity on.
And DeMarzy wins a throw for SF City just in front of the little sandbox area on the track. And just 5 minutes played into this second half. SF City needs to get a leg up back in this game if they're going to get some sort of result. Littleton out into the feet of DeLuna. DeLuna's ball for Watson. It's going to sail over everyone's head for a reset now. And Cluis, very calm, almost pretty much knew where that one was going all day long. Well, again, this Vegas team will just take their chances on the counterattack and just take advantage of you from set-piece opportunities. And they know that it's that important to them and the way that they play, and they're just eager to soak up this amount of pressure. If you're SF City, you've got to feel a little frustrated because you've had so many glorious chances in the first half and haven't been able to put them away or try to find that kind of cutting edge. I mean, we've said most of their names throughout this game, which means that they've had a bulk load of the possession, but Vegas currently up 2-0 in this match.
Yeah, I would agree with the frustration on SF City's part, but this is a very professional team, Las Vegas, in the sense that they're maximizing what they have. They're not playing out of their skin, they're playing to their strengths. One of my coaches used to say, you have to minimize to maximize. And I think that's no better well said than for a team like this, Las Vegas.
Throw in for SF City now. This is Littleton. Cluis is there. Very smartly, calmly caught by Cluis. Notre Dame Dana Moore product, also played with Manny Jimenez, club ball. Both the goalkeepers know one another.
As does Robert Hines and Andy Altamirano. Played with Diablo FC in the East Bay. Growing up, played youth soccer together.
Yeah, all 4 of those know each other from their younger days. And now, of course, playing for PDL clubs and still finishing up school. Long ball, lovely one. This is Bobby Edwards. Bobby Edwards! It is opportunity. I think it was a cross. May have been a little bit of a shot on that too. And it goes for a corner kick.
Fantastic penetrating ball from Merlin Baus into Edwards, who got the cross off.
I'm taking a look at this replay one more time before the corner. And Cluis is there with that right paw. DeMarzy bouncing around. Maybe a shot of a handball. Hughes with a bit of a miss kick. Garcia handles the ball. And now Edwards back with possession. Goes through the legs of McCabe. And poor communication by the SF City back line.
I think that was a combination of poor execution and poor communication. But luckily, McCabe was able to reset.
SF City having to play from behind. They're used to doing it here in this stadium. They beat Davis Legacy 4-3 in November to qualify for the U.S. Open Cup as a lone entrant from a semi-amateur league. Now this is DeMarzy down this left side, and he's got himself another corner kick. It's the second corner of this You can see Sean Ramsden, the assistant to Patty Coyne, yelling a lot of instructions at his players. DeLuna getting in the fray. Same thing with Gould. Hughes and McCabe at the edge of the area. Every single Vegas player back. McCabe tries to keep it in.
Yeah, just too far on the corner kick. But as you can see, once again, anytime Johannes Demarzi gets the ball, he is dangerous. I would try to get him the ball as much as possible, but then support him with overlapping runs or penetrating runs off the ball.
With a personal loan from Freedom Plus, you could score any goal, from paying off credit card debt to financing a home renovation. Flexible terms on fixed-rate loans up to $35,000 are available now. Visit freedomplus.com to get your free, no-risk quote. Freedom Plus is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and a proud supporter of SF City FC. Back to the action here in the 55th minute. The score, SF City 0, Las Vegas 2. Charles Wolin with you. Alongside me, of course, Joe Dugan. SF City in search of what would be a goal that could maybe bring them back into this game, bring some life into their legs, too. First half, they played very well, but nothing to show for it. And Vegas, everything to show for them. And that's great defending, again, by the Vegas back line. And I believe that was Robert Hines who marshaled that one out with Matthew DeKirosh, the right back. They've been really good in the back line.
Yeah, as you said earlier, Charles, I don't think Hines has lost one defensive battle. He's been solid, confident on the ball.
He's been superb indeed. And a quick free kick. This is Bouse, now out of the feet of McCabe. 2 weeks ago, he was in the PDL Team of the Week. Bouse was in the Team of the Week last week. Crossfield ball.
And I think that's what you can expect from Vegas the majority of the game. They're simply going to get it out of danger, and if they can create opportunities off set plays up front, they'll take it, but I don't think they're going to be looking to build too much through the midfield because that's a little bit too risky, and they're happy to sit on this 2-0 lead.
McCabe, and now Bouse out to Hughes, and a great, wonderful little tackle there by Kobe Hunt. Tackled in midfield. This is Gould, and now Hughes again, overlapping as Bouse. Finds the feet of Ashley Watson. Bouse keeps it in for a second, but the assistant referee says that goes out to touch for a throw.
And, you know, for a lot of these young players, this is about developing consistency of focus. And that was just a really lazy ball there, unfortunately, in midfield for SF City. Great crowd today. Great community support here for SF City. Great to see. A lot of youth clubs here, a lot of kids here running around having fun. This is what I think this club is all about, you know, getting the community support.
This is Dylan Murphy now. Played his ball last in Norway at Asane. He also played a couple years ago at Fresno Fuego, another team in this conference, so he's familiar with the PDL. This is Bouse, top of the area. Bouse with the shot, and a wonderful save again by Lewis. Just kind of palmed it over the ball. He kind of reached down and just kind of flicked it over his head. So nonchalantly, Alex Lewis, I haven't really seen something like that by a goalkeeper, but hey, it worked. And take a look at this shot.
Yeah, he parried that outside. He knew exactly where he was, outside the poles, outside the posts.
Ashley Watson with the corner, and that one looked like it was going in. A great header away, too, on the near post by Popovich.
He has been very dangerous with his corner kicks. I just like to see a little bit more short corners. And this, you know, is not really a short corner.
Watson all the way to the far side, over everyone's head. A little much on that. And let's just take a look at this one more time by Bouse. If this one goes in.
And then you can see the space he creates here.
Yeah, he did a terrific, terrific job. Kind of moved it onto his left foot in that last little attacking foray, and you can see
right there.
Beats Popovich at the top of the area, turns the corner, and then Lewis just flicks it up and over And terrific goalkeeping by Lewis, keeping his team in this one. Now, this is a counterattack here by Jackson Collins, who scored the first goal of this game. And now Kobe Hunt. Hunt trying to play the ball in and find the secondary goal scorer, Esteban Baruman. Both those two wingers have scored goals for Las Vegas today.
That was very well defended by SF City.
Kobe Hunt now pitching in. Watson finds Bouse. McCabe. And you kind of almost question how Patty Coyne's going to change his team, because Las Vegas isn't really going to change the way they're going to play in this final half hour or so. But you almost beg to ask the question, what do you do? And is there another striker that might come on? Or do you take a center back off or go to two in central midfield? As there's going to be a throw in here for SF City. Deep in the Vegas half. Bouse back to the feet of McCabe. Finds Bouse again. Had that lovely opportunity just moments ago. Gould. Bouse. And here's Hines. And DeKirosh. Brought down Mike DeKirosh. The poise out of the back by Las Vegas is really extraordinary. They haven't made a lot of mistakes out of the back, and
I agree, because they're keeping it simple and not trying to do too much.
This is Hunt. Now finds Garcia into the feet of Graham. Now Collins. Garcia. This is Collins again. Garcia on his left foot. Not sure what his intention was there, but potentially even looking to maybe switch the field a bit.
And that might be some of the most consecutive passes we've seen Las Vegas put together moving up the field.
As you can see, head coach Patty Coyne and Sean Ramsden trying to sort out what they'd like to do, and even chatting with Danny Kirkland, who is injured, but usually is the tick-tock metronome of this team, and graduated from USF in 2014 and had a pain-killing injection for his back recently. He'll be back maybe soon. But so many options for this SF City team too, so we'll have to see what happens in this final half an hour or so. Can they get back in this game? So far, it is advantage Vegas, and all 3 points are headed to Sin City if things stay the way they are. And they certainly deserve it too. They've played very well and taken their chances when they've needed to, and that's really what matters today. This is Bouse. Ball bouncing up. Lewis is there.
What happens a lot of times is when the forwards fail to receive passes from their midfield, is they tend to drop back even further, leaving very little up front. And this is happening a little bit here as we get in deeper part of the second half.
This is Bouse, and now Watson on the right side, on his left foot. DeMarzi trying to get possession. Watson coming all the way through. Could be a yellow card. I think it might be. Referee just giving him a warning there.
There wasn't much in that, really. Unfortunately, it stopped the play. I think San Francisco City would have won the ball back.
I think Lewis is asking for a yellow card there. Maybe another infraction. It could be that way. This is the goal scorer, Baruman. His ball over everyone's head. Watson doesn't keep it in exactly as Patty Coyne is preparing a substitution. Adnan Gabelic going to make his way into this match very soon. Danny Kirkland handing the fourth official a substitution slip here. 6 substitutions allowed in the PDL. Can't come back in after you've played. SF City won their first game against Fresno because of the fact that Fresno fielded 7th substitute, and they reported it to the league. And SF City won the game 3-0 via forfeit, which was a very classy move by the Fresno Fuego indeed. Kind of a bizarre circumstance. I think that, you know, if you're a referee in the league, you would probably know to not have a 7th player come on and understand the rules before that. And for SF City in that game, they did struggle, and Fresno had a nice game against them, but SF City has those 3 points in the bag. And prior to that, they were supposed to play this Vegas team, flew to Vegas, but the game didn't happen because of weather in the area. So a very strange beginning to SF City's season, and now kind of things take a spin in an opposite direction here at home. Down 2-0 against this Vegas team that has worked very hard defensively and has been compact and composed. And SF City had a bulkload of chances in the first half and still kind of trying to find their voice in this second half almost.
And one adjective you might have added to that, Charles, is cohesive. Their back line has been very together, and as a defensive unit, if you're cohesive, you won't allow goals a lot of times.
Popovich goes right by Murphy, able to win back possession. A fun player to watch. He kind of makes things happen. He's the conductor of the orchestra with Julian Portugal, who is the architect of that first goal for Vegas. And now Nia Graham, leading goal scorer for this Vegas team. One more could really put this away for Vegas, but SF City, if they score a goal, they're right back in this game.
And Coach Patty Coyne and his staff are imploring his team to play a high press. So they realize that there's little time left. They need to score 2 goals or more. And they're not going to do that by sitting back. So they're going to press high and hope to depossess Las Vegas.
A ball by Hughes, who is looking for Watson. They'll get the substitution on here. Adnan Gabelic, and it looks like Dylan Murphy will take a seat. So almost Patty Coyne, I think, probably going to be going to 2 strikers up top here, and it'll just be Hughes and Baus as Dylan Murphy takes a seat. So Gabelic will take his place on the field. Haven't seen him play in too many PDL games for SF City. He made the trip to Vegas. The game didn't happen. He didn't play in Fresno, and he didn't play against BYU either, as DeMarzi is upended, and there'll be a free kick here to SF City. And these set pieces for SF City, they've had a tougher time getting anything on them and being cognizant and strong in the air. Vegas has done a good job of that. They'll swing this one in through Nick Littleton on his right foot.
Now, just like Las Vegas's last set piece, look for the second ball here.
Littleton threads it in. It's a nice ball to the far post, and Edwards can't control it. It's going to be a goal kick now.
So I think this is a good substitution by Coach Patty Coyne, putting in Gabelic for Murphy. Murphy lent a bit of stability and defensive presence to the midfield, but now that they're down 2-0, Gabelic is definitely going to, or hopefully add more offensive power to the attack.
Vegas with possession in the final third. Through the feet of Nia Graham. It's been all over the place, really.
And again, you hear the SF City coaches saying, step up, step to the ball, pressure the ball.
Now Watson and DeMarzi through the middle almost, and Gabelic will be on this right side.
And I would say if you don't see more pressing on the ball, I would look for them to make SF City to make some substitutions, because there are some tired legs out there.
This is Baus. He almost picks he picks the ball up in a deep central midfield area, tries to thread it out wide left.
And Coach Sean Ramsden is right. He wants the players to keep moving the ball rather than just pump it over the top.
This is Watson, and now Bouse. Gabelic now, 1v1, Adnan Gabelic, who used to play at the Sacramento Republic. Nice ball over the top. This is Ashley Watson. Can he keep it in? Nick Littleton! And Littleton shot right at the goalkeeper, Alex Lewis.
Alex Lewis looked very comfortable on that save in a very good position.
Well, Lewis has been terrific today. Absolutely outstanding. Throw in for SF City. Just around the center line. And just taking a look at this right over here, you can see Littleton's shot. Nice power, but right at the goalkeeper, Lewis. And upended is DeMarzi from the back, from Eric Bajado. And it's going to be a free kick now to SF City. Can they do anything with that, though? 20 minutes to go as Ashley Watson is just behind the ball here.
That was a rare foul from the Las Vegas defense. They really haven't fouled too much this game. And this is a curious position to give up a free kick. Again, look for the second ball. So this ball I would look to be played to the back post, but look for the second ball perhaps to the near post.
Well, this is Watson. Watson's service. And again, Lewis is there. Wasn't a penetrative ball and didn't really ask too many questions.
I think he was looking for a runner, but that's a very difficult ball to get on the end of because it's so fast.
Littleton now. And this is DeLuna for Hughes. Playing more of a 4-4-2 now, SF City. DeMarzi wants possession. Long ball. Not sure where that was intended for or whom.
I'm sure the coaches can't be happy with that because that's not the way they're going to penetrate. I don't know if Ashley Watson saw an opening behind Alex Lewis. Maybe he was trying to shoot. I'm not sure there.
So, throw in here for Vegas. Garcia leaves off for Collins, who wants to leave off for another one of his teammate. And the referee blowing his whistle saying, let's go. This is Graham.
He's ready.
San Francisco City, of course, is sponsored by Classy. It's the world's largest fundraising platform for organizations focused on positive social change and a proud partner of the club. Grab an official team jersey at the merchandise tent to support SF City and Classy. Ball here on the end line for Vegas. A tight rope. And Nia Graham serving the ball back in on from the left to the right. It finds Baruman, and Baruman upended by Edwards, calling for a foul. Referee does play on, is still down on the ground. Bouse.
Well defended by Edwards.
And this is Watson. Chances on here for SF City FC. Very quickly done. This is Hughes out to the right for McCabe. McCabe now with Gabelic. Big frame Gabelic. Probably the tallest man on this field. Hughes looking to find a nice little through ball here. Now Gabelic on the right side. Can he put a good cross in? Gabelic. And his cross.
That's positive signs, though. That was a really good build-up. They did everything I think the coaches have been asking them to do. They kept the ball on the ground. They were looking for feet. Even though Las Vegas closed some of those channels, they were able to continue the possession.
And you can see here that Baruman was tackled off the ball by Bobby Edwards in the corner. Coming up almost on 15 minutes to go for SF City, and I would think that there's got to be another change or two. This is Littleton now for SF City. Littleton upended, but no call, says the referee. No foul. This is DeKirosh. And now, Baruman, who scored a goal, and his confidence level must be very high. So comfortable on the ball as well. And credit to this Vegas team. They beat Burlingame at home and tied Burlingame, and they currently have a lead over SF City. Now, this is Nick Littleton, McCabe, and Bouse. Throw in for SF City. Littleton into the fray. Will someone get their head on it? Jordan Hughes on the ground. And a very, very slow-moving ball from left to right. But Cluis, of course, there again.
And that's the second
Vegas.
opportunity that I continue to talk about. So Jordan Hughes was in the right place. He just did not get all of that.
Yeah, Vegas clearing all the way down is probably just going to be hoofing it out of the back for this next 15 minutes, or maybe holding the ball here like Nia Graham.
And did you see the Wind hold that ball up? So I wouldn't look for them to play the ball up too high, because the Wind has kicked in a bit.
Portugal with a great tackle on the ground. Vegas poised for a nice result here in San Francisco. And you can take a look at this second ball. Hines with the header came on down to the holding midfielder Hughes, and cutting from right to left. This is Hughes for SF City. Littleton. And now Bouse. DeLuna for McCabe. McCabe's ball. Second ball. Oh, and DeMarzi! It just goes over the bar, and he is beside himself at how frustrated he is with that.
Wow, that was a great opportunity. You can't knock him for that. He was in the right place, the right time, took his opportunity. Unfortunately, went over the bar. Great strike.
As you can see, the ball comes in right here to Barry McCabe. Nice ball over the top. Flicked on, a header comes in, and then coming through on the volley, of course, DeMarzi, who's probably had 4 or 5 chances today to score a goal. And again, he is certainly deserving of a goal, and I would think that, but currently SF City behind 2-0 here.
But once again,
home.
Robert Hines for Las Vegas was right there in the good position, goal side of DeMarzi, and did enough to get the ball to go over the post.
Yeah, both Robert Hines and Bajado have been terrific. The center back pairing, they seem like they've played together quite a bit.
Sure does.
This is DeLuna. Out of the back, into the feet of Hughes, his USF teammate. Hughes, who just finished his freshman year at USF, just down the road from here. Your neck of the woods, Joe. Oh, this is Adnan Gabelic. Chance on here for SF City. Back to his right foot, Gabelic. And Gabelic on the opportunity. It was, I call that kind of the half breakaway, but that was a glorious chance for Gabelic, really, to maybe even take someone on 1v1 and get a better shot off than that. It's going to be a throw-in just around central midfield, too.
You know, if the game stays like this, Paddy Quain's not going to complain about the lack of chances. It's going to be executing on those chances. He just, again, did not get all of that.
Yeah, moves it back onto that favored right foot, too, and you can see that on that replay just there. Edwards now. Now Hughes for SF City. Down this left side, Gabelic. Wow, he's certainly running like he wants to make up for that.
And it looks like he's gone from right to left, keeping the defenders on their heels. In other words, he switched from right wing to left wing, trying to keep the defense unbalanced. So far, he's been able to make these penetrating runs. I'd like to see him take it from the wing to the middle of the field in front of the goal.
Almost a little bit surprised that he's not played as more of a central striker. And free kick here to SF City, coming up on almost 10 minutes to go. SF City, if they want to stay undefeated, they need to score 2 goals, maybe even see if they can get the draw. But so far, it's been Las Vegas, and they've taken their chances brilliantly as Bouse loses possession, loses out there. This is Jackson Collins, who scored the first goal of this game in the first minute of the game. Collins against Hughes, trying to go to his left, wants to go to his right instead, plays on to Garcia, just at the top of the area, saved by McCabe, and it's actually going to be out for a throw-in, as things are starting to get tense here in these final few moments, because SF City's got to have a big roll of the dice at this point to throw some players forward.
And I know the staff down there is talking amongst themselves. They're saying, who can we put in to give an injection of energy here for SF City? I think there's some tired legs out there, so in the next minute or two, you may see a substitution for SF City.
This is Baruman's ball, looking for Garcia, who came on as a first-half substitute for Guzman. Guzman only played 30 minutes of this game. He scored the goal against BYU on Thursday. Now, DeMarzi on the right side. DeMarzi breaking in. DeMarzi looking for McCabe, trying to make it look pretty, and it's going to go for a goal kick. Rather, SF City players are lining up for a corner. Well, the assistant referee originally signaled as a goal kick, but it's going to be a corner kick now. Can they get anything out of this corner is the question. With 10 minutes to go, we have approach the 80th minute. Quick corner kick. It's a short one. It's Merlin Bouse to the far side and caught by Alex Cluis. It's got to be a better ball than that.
It does, and it has to be a little bit further away from the goal. You want the goalkeeper to come into that no man's land where he's uncomfortable, and unfortunately it was right, to his back line where he's protecting the goal.
DeMarzi upended by Hines, and that's going to be a yellow card, I would assume. And for all Hines' positives, that one's certainly a negative. Kind of a rougher tackle there by Hines. Really came in hard on DeMarzi. Really comes all the way through, too.
Wow. And that's certainly a yellow card. The referee actually could have played on, because I believe Adnan Gabelich or his teammate had the ball on the left wing open. This is really an advantage for Las Vegas, in my opinion. Stopping the play, and it's far enough away, it's not going to be a dangerous free kick.
And they can put every single one of their players behind the ball. Bouse! And his service, again, not the best. And it seems like they've got to go back to the drawing board in training to get these services down, because they really haven't bothered Cluis too much with the set-piece opportunities that they've had. I mean, 6 to 7 corners in the first half, 4 or 5 here, and,
you
Las
can't
Vegas,
waste those opportunities.
And on the flip side for Vegas, they take their opportunities so well, too.
They certainly do. Yeah, I think you said it well. They really need to do better and get more chances. Give their team a chance to score. They can't put the ball out of play on these set pieces.
Header up in the air. Brought down by Bouse. Hughes, 83rd minute. And now Littleton on the right side. Nick Littleton lays off for McCabe. McCabe, will he get a good service in? Back to Littleton. DeMarzi chests the ball down, almost like you're waiting for the shot to happen, but it's almost like they're trying to pass the ball in.
Well, I don't mind trying to penetrate and pass the ball in, but the ball's got to be on the ground. That's a very almost impossible ball for DeMarzi to handle. He's 4 yards away from his teammate who gives it to him at his chest. Very difficult ball to handle.
Now 3 substitutions for SF City FC. Andy Altamirano coming into the game. Armando Flores coming into the game for Nick Littleton. Barry McCabe coming into the game as well.
Barry McCabe and Jordan Hughes are coming off.
Yep. And it looks like Dylan Caton will also get a run in central midfield too. This is Baus. And now Baus on the left, popping up here. Bobby Edwards. SF City in search of a goal. DeLuna finds Altamirano. And now Mambo Flores, Armando Flores, great in the 1v1. Mambo Flores, ball caught, Altamirano! And can DeMarzi collect in his legs? Still Mambo. And now Altamirano again. And a good tackle by Julian Portugal. He had to be very good there, otherwise it would have been a penalty kick.
It sure was a good tackle.
And Dylan Caton upending Nia Graham.
Well,
Just around 5 minutes to
Flores
go.
has already given a spark to this SF City team by penetrating the box twice now and beating his defender.
Thrown on in. This is Baus, Altamirano. And now DeMarzi. Baus again. Gabelic in there. Watson in there. Will it fall for someone? Popovich trying to turn the corner. Caton with possession. And now DeLuna. Down the right side for Mambo Flores. Caught by Garcia. Garcia almost upended by Gould. And now here comes Vegas on the counterattack. This is Jackson Collins. Ball over the top, brought down by Flores. Back to Jimenez. Wants to get on with it. He hasn't really touched the ball too much in the second half, other than the fact that the ball bounced off of him in the first minute of this second half. Off of that volley from the corner. Dylan Caton. And now Baus. Caton again. Edwards. And now Gabelic into the feet of DeMarzi. Can he find something here? This is Ashley Watson. He's upended. Dylan Caton goes to ground. 2v1 here. It's a long ball looking for Garcia. Jimenez comes out. Does well indeed. Baus onwards. Finds DeMarzi. Can Gabelic get there? Altamirano chasing against Hines, who's been terrific today. Watson. And it's going to be a throw-in.
You know, the combination of the fatigue and the pressure for SF City to go forward, that was a pretty sloppy little series there. Let's see if it settles down.
Edwards, all the way back to Jimenez. Ball looking for Mambo Flores down the right side. Looks like SF City having a tough time just winning back possession here, and they finally do through Gould, who finds Flores, who wants to take the ball on 1v1. Here's Flores on the ground for DeMarzi. Johannes DeMarzi, deflection. It's going to be a corner kick to SF City FC. And that's his 6th or 7th chance to score a goal here. Vegas putting all of their players back. Watson and his service, not very good at all. And that kind of sums up the day in terms of set pieces for SF City FC. It's really been the story. They've had so many set piece opportunities, and they just haven't had a good service, or they haven't been able to really make something happen from the set piece today, Joe.
Well, like you said earlier, they haven't really challenged the defense or the goalkeeper in any particular one of their set plays. If they're going to be successful, they need to change that stat.
Throw in here and coming up on the 89th minute. Not a lot of time for SF City at all.
And, you know, they need to show a little bit more passion, a little bit more energy here. There's only a few minutes left, and they're, to my opinion, being a little bit too casual.
Dylan Caton. And now here's DeMarzi on the right, on the left side, excuse me. Back into the feet of Baus. And now Gould finds Caton. And DeLuna's in there, and I think it may have taken a bit of a deflection. It's going to go for a corner kick.
That was a nice ball by Caton. Very good penetrating ball. Those are the chances you have to take at this point in the game.
Flores' service, it's a better service. Trying to clear the ball away. Caton, can he keep it in for SF City? This is the first goal scorer, Jackson Collins. Caton.
Very little time left. Do we know if
we are in the 90th minute now? This is Gabelic. Crossed in. Will DeMarzi get his goal? Might be a consolation at this point. And it's going to be another corner kick to SF City FC. Or maybe it might just be a goal kick. And Vegas will add another substitute here. And SF City played well today, but this Vegas team really dug in deep and really made it happen for their team. And they've definitely had a very nice day at the office. They've taken their chances when they've needed to and done a nice job at that today, coming into San Francisco and Kezar Stadium, which is a tough thing to do, playing in this fog and this Mediterranean weather, which fluctuates between 50 to 65 degrees with spots of the sun and not spots of the sun and a cloud here or there. Very interesting place to play, of course. But ultimately, SF City really having a tougher day today, putting their chances away. And this Vegas team, as you can see, well disciplined in the back. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, this is the part of the game where you're going to have this chippiness because you have a team who's down, who's frustrated at home, and then you have another team up, feeling invincible, and you're going to have some pushing and shoving going on.
So taking a look at that scuffle right here, as Ashley Watson gets into this, and just a little bit of some shoving, not too much there, between Matthew DeKirosh, the right back, and Adnan Gabelic, who just pushes Gabelic, and that's a big frame to push, I'll tell you.
Sure is.
He's a David and Goliath in that scenario. And that is the full-time whistle here. Vegas spoils the party in San Francisco. But the fans, nevertheless, are still behind their team no matter what. It was 2 goals in the beginning of the first and the second half. Johannes DeMarzi shakes his head in disgust for San Francisco. But this Vegas team has been absolutely outstanding. They know that they needed to take their chances on set pieces. They did. They got that early first goal, added confidence to their legs. They got a result in BYU. They came here to San Francisco. They get the result today to upend San Francisco. And San Francisco no longer undefeated, and now Vegas takes a huge jump up the table in this last week with the tie and the win today with the complete 4 points. San Francisco back to the drawing board, really had a tough time on the set pieces. They had many set pieces. They had a huge number of chances, but they just were not able to get it done. And credit to Las Vegas, as you can see there, Ronnie Cherry almost on his cell phone, probably trying to call his head coach, who didn't make the trip, Paul Barron, for the three, about that they've got the 3 points today. But credit to them, well-deserved 3 points.
Yeah, I agree. And never have I seen two such fast goals at in each half in one game. That was amazing, and there was no other goals. So I think Vegas deserved this win. San Francisco City did not play that poorly. They just did not capitalize on their chances.
And you can see Sean Ramsden already talking to the players. Nick Littleton with his captain's armband in that left hand against his waist there, looking at the ground, not happy. This team was fired up. They were really excited coming into this game, and this is a Vegas team that just took care of their business and handled it very, very well. Nice poise by the boys from Las Vegas. There's the Northsiders on the north side here, waving their flags, having a good time. We'll take a look at the highlights here in just a second. But, Joe, what does SF City have to do in this next game to be able to bounce back from something like this?
Well, it seems to me that they were giving away the ball way too many times when they would try to penetrate their offensive third by going over the top of the defense. That didn't work. Where they were dangerous and where they got 2 to 3 shots in a very close range is when they looked to DeMarzi's feet. Players played off DeMarzi, and they played in consecutive combination passes. So they need to play more consecutively, for example, with Littleton, DeMarzi, and Watson. They can't just play over the top and hope.
Well, let's take a look here at the highlights, Joe. Started off early here in this second half. This goal, a brilliant goal in the half volley by Esteban Baruman. He beats Manny Jimenez on that left foot. He does a decent job there. This is Merlin Baus, who had a really nice opportunity on his left foot. It was kind of palmed over the bar by Alex Cluis, who did a very nice job indeed. And then here's a chance by Littleton, right to the goalkeeper. And good power, but not the accuracy that he wanted. And this is Ashley Watson on a free kick opportunity right to Cluis, and that's kind of sums up the day. The
right.
Set pieces didn't really penetrate or really get into areas to bother Cluis. He was right there, and therefore he had a nice game. McCabe, and this is DeMarzi, who had a very good opportunity, one of 4 or 5 opportunities for DeMarzi. He was so upset. You can see the reaction, just punching the air.
Right, love the passion.
And Gabelich now on this left side, breaks onto his right foot. Not the best opportunity from him. Didn't see his best. And then this is the first goal that started things off in the first minute. As you could see there, it was Nia Graham passing the ball from the right to the left for Jackson Collins for his 3rd goal of the game. My name is Charles Wolin. Thank you so much for joining me on this broadcast. Alongside me, Joe Dugan. You can follow me on Twitter at @CWolin. On the Bay Area Online Sports Network, BayOSN.TV, here on YouTube and on Ustream as well. We want to thank our broadcast partners, of course, and I want to thank you, Joe, for being here and doing an excellent job. Joe Dugan, a former USF Don, and from San Francisco. Appreciate you tuning into our broadcast this afternoon. By tuning into this broadcast, you help grow the game of soccer in this country, the United States of America. We will be back with you next Sunday, right here, June 12th, with another broadcast, a 3 p.m. kickoff right here on the Bay Area Online Sports Network. You can follow us on YouTube and Ustream. The final score from San Francisco. It is San Francisco 0, Las Vegas 2. Thanks for joining me. I'm Charles Wolin, Joe Dugan. Want to thank our production team. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.